Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to day 2 here at EGF. The Collegiate Power Series continues with yet another group of play, and us here at Stream 1. We have such a great set of matchups for you. This group is fantastic. The teams lining up: Mizzou, UD, Syracuse, FSU, and DePaul, all vying neck and neck for one of those top 2 spots to move on into the playoffs on Sunday. Bringing all the action at you, I am Dor, and I am joined by the one, the only Cool J. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. We should be looking at some fantastic Rocket League action. We're starting off with Syracuse facing off against Florida State, and this is going to be a good one. Both of these teams were 5-1 in the group stages and looked nigh unstoppable. It should be a nice little heat check to see how they fare when the groups are merging here in the championship stage.
Well, Cool J, we may be outnumbering them here because there's 2 teams, but there's 3 casters here. We're joined by one more person. It's Cub coming in all the way from RIT. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. Ready to cast some more Rocket League with you guys. Like you said, this is going to be a great match, and I'm just excited to get it started.
Yeah, and we're going to hop directly into our first match of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you know a lot about these teams. Syracuse coming in, making a statement in their own group. Florida State, plenty of EGF experience, and now they're going to have to prove their mettle up against the opposing side. Now, starting out here, FSU had actually a really solid last week coming into this, actually beating Georgia Tech, their largest rival, the one team they could just never take a game off of. Now, Syracuse, an even larger monster, stands in their way.
Yeah, already we're seeing crazy saves come out from the Syracuse team. And Jack right up with a shot off the side there, not going to connect. Yeah, this is a pretty fast-paced game right now. These teams are pushing pretty aggressively on both offensive sides when they have the ball. They get control quick and convert right over to shooting opportunities.
And now, one of the things about this FSU team that we've seen in recent time, right, they've always been a very defensive-oriented team. However, Icarus, to quote them, has been on a tear recently and has really been the catalyst for their attacking. They've been so much more aggressive as of recent. Now, Cub, you've gotten to watch Syracuse play for just a couple seconds here. How do you think this is going to play out based on the fact that FSU is playing more attacking than they normally would be?
Well, Syracuse, they play a pretty standard game. They have good rotations to get back on defense, and their capitalization on offense is pretty strong. But with the fact that FSU is playing more offensive than they usually do, I think it'll really be up to them to make a statement in at least this first game.
Yeah, and with all this coming in, they need to be very careful because Syracuse can look for a counterattack, something that FSU don't normally have to worry about with so much defense.
And we shall see how it's going, but so far we're 2 minutes in, and I mean these teams are really looking to be neck and neck. You know, you mentioned earlier talking about Icarus, and I can't really agree more. This FSU squad seems to live and die by Icarus. Ghost and Salcido, incredible players in their own right, but when Icarus has it going, this FSU squad is just something special. And Syracuse, so far they've done a good job of keeping Icarus quiet, and they'll be looking to see if they can keep doing that throughout this series.
That's the #1 way to hold this Florida State team down, right? Shut down that one player that's really creating a lot of the action in the front of the field and then put them on their back foot. But Florida State has been doing a good job holding on to this ball. It's been building up those attacking plays, building out of their own half. Cub, how do you think they can fix that?
Well, you were saying that FSU was playing out of their own half?
Having trouble getting the ball out of their own half, but there you go, a counterattack straight into the Syracuse net. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, what they need. You saw a quick pass off there to Ghost, and he was ready to just take the dribble right into the back of the net. These quick conversions are going to be tough for Syracuse to deal with, but it's just something that they're going to have to respond to with this heavy offense.
Yeah, FSU putting them under an abnormal amount of pressure, but one that's working for them so far. I wouldn't be surprised to see Syracuse do the same exact thing, though, here, is every time they get ball possession, they have a solid window of time where they can really look for an open goal for a solid counterattack. But Ghost up on the air dribble. Good save by Jack.
Yeah, and now cleared out this Syracuse team. Well, they thought they cleared the danger, but Icarus comes right in the midfield and wins it. Salcedo and Ghost trying to hook up over the middle. There's a demo. Icarus going for the shot, but doesn't quite connect. Syracuse now on the offensive. Hush with the shot towards the goal. Ghost with a save. Deals with that one pretty easily. And now yet again, Florida State back the other way. And the shot and a score from Icarus.
And Florida State
and that
comes
was
in.
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, look at
counterattack
that pass.
like we talked about.
Oh. Yeah, and there was no way that Jack was going to be able to save that either coming in from that angle. There was little to no stopping that. Once Toledo got the touch in the air, that was just about done for.
Yeah, Salcedo is coming in, and he's trying to set his teammates up a lot here, playing very, very heavily in the midfield, giving them as many opportunities to attack as they possibly can. And it's net them a good, fair few shots, and sending two members into the attacking field, honestly, it's a super weird look because it's not one that we've seen from Florida State really ever in history that at least I've seen them play. And hell, I go to the college, so this is all a new territory for them. They've got to be careful because Syracuse, the second they figure it out, it could be tricky for Florida State themselves to figure out counterplay.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, FSU, if they're more of a defensive team, as you say, then it might be more natural for them getting back onto a defensive sort of route and just having Icarus doing more offensive play. But yeah, if Syracuse starts really putting on the burners and start pressuring FSU a lot more, then they could just be hard pressed to go back to their normal style.
Yeah, Florida State. The second that the pressure puts on, though, it's nice that they have a style that they can fall back on, and they're still going to be perfectly fine, though, is the thing, right? They always have this ability, and with 8 seconds left, they can just sit back and defend like they're used to, and they're going to be perfectly fine. And a solid game one from them looks like it's going to be the catalyst to a good series.
Yeah, Florida State, they're happy to come out and get this victory here in game one. They played a solid game all around. Took a while to get the scoring going, but really kept Syracuse quiet for most of the game. And Icarus showing up late with that second goal to really finish them off. They really hit their keys on the Florida State side here in game one.
Now, Cub, I kind of want to ask you, right? You're Syracuse. This game, you started out playing really, really fast. You started out keeping the ball in the Florida State half, and Florida was really struggling to build up any sort of offense. But then one goal goes in, and it starts to spiral out of control, and then we all of a sudden see Florida State with a lot more of that possession. What do you think Syracuse lost or FSU gained that allowed them to do that?
Oh, well, I think FSU kind of took the strategy of slow the bleeding, let's get it up to midfield at least, and start progressively making more and more forward plays. Like I said in the beginning of the game, they were playing mostly in their net, but once they started pushing it more and more out, I think they felt more confident to really start taking the shots that they needed to. But I think that's kind of what Syracuse needs to do in response now. If FSU is going to be playing forward, they need to take strong defense, slowly push forward, and then take the offensive opportunities when they can.
That's a good look here. Trying to catch the Florida State side off guard here as we head into game 2. And you know what? Fresh legs, fresh axles. They're going to be hopping right into it. Cool J, why don't you take us away?
Well, we're getting the kickoff underway, and we'll see how things shake out this time around. Florida State, well, 2-0 is not the most commanding scoreline, but they really had full control in game 1. Syracuse, they're going to be looking to change things up in game 2, and I think one of those changes that they have to make, we already talked about some of them, but I really think the big thing for this Syracuse squad, I want to see them really challenging more for Florida State and really not letting Florida State do things for free. Florida State just had so much space, and, you know, it's just so difficult to do things. Right now, Ghost coming through, playing it into the corner and trying to set something up for Florida State. Syracuse trying to clear it out, and this is another thing that they've struggled with, is really playing it out of their own half. They're able to, you know, stop some of these attacks and win ball control, but then they kind of give it away as soon as they try and get into the midfield here. Oh, but there's a nice shot from Hush. Long range, and the rotations were not in for Florida State. He's going to put that one in.
A quick 1-0 for Syracuse, but a solid start to work their way back into this one. We mentioned that all it would take would be a counterattack or a little bit more of that aggression, and you spoke about it in between the matches here, Cub. Was that exactly what you wanted to see?
Yeah, they really started hunkering down on defense, took the opportunity when they saw it, and Hush made a great punish on Ghost being a little bit too eager to try and get a touch on the ball.
Oh my goodness, bumps everywhere here, but Syracuse need to be careful about what they commit. Ghost nearly with a shot. It's just going to send up the wall, and a bit of time for safe play for Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, and it is really, like you mentioned, it's time for the safe play. It's still early on in this game. A 1-goal lead is not much of a lead in the World of Rocket League. They need to get it out of their half. They need to keep Florida State from threatening to even up this game. But overall, Syracuse are probably going to be looking right now to really try and take some more time off this clock. Maybe see if they can't set up another scoring opportunity. They have set up a few, but really they're just trying to keep their goal safe, keep the pressure up on this Florida State squad, and keep them from coming in onto their half. Yes. Ghost, though, he's done playing the games, and he's looking to set up in Salcedo.
A beautifully placed shot here, right above the goalkeeper. No time to react. Jack doesn't get the rebound that he wants. And you know what? Salcedo is more than happy to put that one in. And Florida State starting to apply pressure. And these teams, honestly, they look like they want to be playing at the very least the exact same way. Both looking for counterattacks, both looking for really solid scoring opportunities, not wanting to take too many risks. And with an open goal here is dangerous for Syracuse, but nothing will come of it. And do you think it's better here to try and take the battle of attrition or to try and break the status quo and change up the speed, Cub?
In a battle of attrition, I think that FSU is going to be taking that. So if you're Syracuse, you're going to need to try and change things up. You did get that one early goal, but FSU seems to be quick on the counterattack here and get their response. And with the ball nearly going into the net there and some good setups coming out right in front of the net, Syracuse has to be pretty scared, and they rightfully should be, as Icarus putting in another one.
Yeah, lower corner with no boost. There's really not much you can do here. They were slowly getting suffocated out. That ball is in the half for so long. Everybody's just running on fumes at that point, chasing this ball around. The rotations get caught out, and a nice shot to finish it off. Quality stuff from Florida State to take the lead.
Now, with 2 minutes to go, we'll see if Syracuse, they showed some life earlier on. They've had several great scoring opportunities, but they haven't been able to capitalize on them. But Jack right there takes advantage of a big mistake from Icarus. Icarus was in perfect position to knock this goal away, and he just whiffed.
I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for from Syracuse. They fire right on back, and even if the scoreline here makes a serious statement, because FSU can come in, take a ton of possession rather. But no matter what, Syracuse are always going to be knocking on their door. They need to be so careful. Another opportunity up here. Has the shot, not touching it all. Almost goes in. Dangerous play for Florida State now as the ball is pinged back across the field. And it is just going coast to coast repeatedly here. Either team ending up with ball possession for a serious period of time. And without much time to really go off on counterattacks here, Florida State needs to be careful. Salcedo, good play out, but not much to be found. Searching for a pass, but Demolition is just going to shut this play down immediately.
Yeah, both of these teams, I've been noticing, are having incredible ball control. Just being able to outplay almost everybody that tries to stop it. Even right there, look at it, going for that early shot right before the defender's able to get to it, and it goes through 2 of the hands of the defenders.
Yeah, and that comes down to 2 of those things that we mentioned a lot here, right? A, midfield pressure, and B, intentional distribution of the ball on defense, right? You can't just be clearing it out wherever you want. Otherwise, a player like Icarus is going to come in every single time and hit nasty aerials like that.
Yeah, I mean, really, Icarus, I mean, making up for his mistake earlier, they gave up the goal. But the thing is, when you give so much space to Florida State, when you don't play it purposefully enough, Salcedo just barely able to get back in time. There could have been an open goal there. Now, the minute left to go. Florida State still in the lead. Syracuse, they are threatening. Hush tries to win it in the midfield. That's not the touch he wants now. It's playing the wrong direction. And what this is doing right now for Florida State, it is taking time off the clock. It is getting them ever closer to another victory here in this series.
Well, we'll see if Florida State can seal this one out with just 40 seconds on the clock. The heat is on for Syracuse. They got to start taking risks. Flip off the wall. Jack for the air dribble. It's up and over. Oh, but Salcido stands in the way. He knows Patrick comes in. Shot off the bar, rattling. You could hear it from so far away, but Syracuse are just going to be sad it didn't go in. Now Florida State with the counterattack. Syracuse need to find a way to turn this one around without much time on the clock. Hush knocks it up. Ghost plays it straight down to the ground. Salcido could seal it out, but no. It's off the corner here. 10 seconds on the clock. Syracuse sweating profusely. They need something, anything to keep this ball alive. That'll be the last touch. It gets on the ground. Jack for the pinch off the wall, but can't find it. Florida State take their second game of the day.
Yeah, an immaculate play coming out from FSU. It was seeming pretty stale, standing at that 1-1 score line for quite a while. But then these teams just started to find a little bit of their own rhythm, getting back-to-back, finding 2-2, and then FSU and eventually getting the better of Syracuse, finding that third goal off of a whiff punish. And it seems like FSU is standing to try and take this series.
Yeah, and honestly, with the consistency that they're doing it, neither of these teams have adapted all that much. I feel like it's been more so from the side of FSU, just light changes here and there, but they're confident in their ability to score goals, not to mention confident in Icarus. My God, the guy's everywhere. He's won every aerial 50-50, and I think that's probably one of the biggest places Syracuse can really look to improve. It's going to be in the aerial challenges, right? We saw it there at the end. They weren't able to keep the ball up, but also in Icarus's goal when they didn't challenge at the midfield, and so putting a little bit more pressure up in those mechanically complex areas is going to be something that A, I know Syracuse is able to do, and B, is going to give them a lot more space on the field.
Now we're getting underway into game 3. Syracuse, their backs are now against the wall. They had a good showing in the group stage. They're coming here to the championship stage, and they want to put on a good show. Oh, incredible play from Icarus to Salcido. And Syracuse, this is not the start they wanted for their championship stage table. They're currently down 1 in what could be the final game of this series, because Florida State, if they win this one, it's a 3-0 sweep for them, and Florida State wants nothing more than to finish off this series.
You know I said that I want to see Syracuse go up and challenge in the air, and they did exactly that, but then Salcido just dribbled around him in the air, passed it down, and I don't know where Syracuse beat this Florida State team. What do you think, Cub?
Yeah, I think that Syracuse is going to need to play a little bit stronger, like get it into the corners and handle it a little bit better in there, possibly look for some more centers and get shots off. But there it is again, Salcido just coming out of nowhere and from the goal, picking up all this boost. And
oh, there's a bump on the Hush.
Yeah, capitalizes on the lack of defense. He says, I'm pulling the goalie. I'm going for it, guys. I'm ready to show what I got.
That's what we love to see, but Hush looking to fire right back. It's dangerous territory here for Florida State as they're low on boost because it was just kickoff. Goes with some great ball control, though. Puts it out wide. Buys a little bit of time for Florida State, and now they can look to rebound this. Syracuse, though, putting in a little bit of a midfield challenge is what we want to see from them.
Back and forth it goes, but early on in this game, Florida State is yet again in a position that they are comfortable with. They are in a commanding position, and they're still forcing it in. They're still looking for another goal. Icarus, they're winning in the midfield. Ghost with a demo as well. They're not allowing Syracuse to get out of their own half right now.
No, it's absolute suffocation. It's what we saw towards the middle of the previous game, right? Just forcing goals out, taking boost away constantly, pressuring the Syracuse side, and Ghost comes out with the shot for it.
Yeah, I think FSU is really using the hitboxes of their cars a lot more optimally than Syracuse is. They're getting these right angles to really try and put the balls where they want them, like exactly on the dime. Even there, just a short little pass over to Ghost trying to get that capitalization. You haven't really seen stuff like that from Syracuse come out. They've been over, undershooting, just everywhere in between.
Yeah, Syracuse, though, they have net themselves an opportunity. Salcedo up, will deny it for the time being. It's a little bit dangerous as Jack rips one in. Oh, but it finds the crossbar as Ghost puts in a massive save. Another demolition from Florida State is going to be shutting down this attack. And honestly, Florida State looking like they're playing a little dirty. Bumps and demos everywhere, getting goalkeepers out of the way. Shots on in, and a third goal for the Florida State Seminoles.
Salcedo just pops that one on in there off the assist from Icarus. Great team play from the Seminole boys here, putting that one in about halfway through this game 3. A 3-0 lead is exactly where Florida State thought they would be, and I'm wondering, where has Syracuse gone? We saw a lot of fight for them in game 2.
Oh boy.
But now it's just all gone as Icarus puts in yet another one.
I mean, I'm not sure if Syracuse run out of fight or FSU's just getting warmed up, but either way, this speaks great things for the Florida side, right? Going in to the rest of today, there's a lot more games, and honestly, some pretty tough opponents ahead of them. Of course, their next game going to be up against DePaul. Is there anything you want to see Florida State really improve at before that next game, Cub?
Well, I gotta say that Florida State, you know, they're doing just about everything that they can right now. I'm not sure how much gameplay they can really improve on. It seems like their communication is really strong behind the scenes as well, and I think that's what's making a lot of difference in this game. They're getting communications of opponent rotations a lot better and calling out whether a mistake can be capitalized on. But yeah, if they keep playing like this, it would be hard to see them losing any matches today.
Yeah, it's really great to see when teams play like this because a lot of these top teams, UTA, Mizzou, RIT, all of them usually start to falter a little bit when you see teams go for a very aggressive, demo-heavy play style. It catches them so off guard, and I know if Mizzou are watching right now, they need to be wary of this. We saw it catch UTA off twice yesterday. They lost 2 games, and they probably should never have. And honestly, Florida State set themselves up not just to be good against the teams that they would normally beat, but honestly to teams like Mizzou that are going to be real threats in the future.
Now as time is ticking down, Ghost puts another one on goal. Icarus flying through, but Jack just barely going to clear that one. But down 4 with 40 seconds to go. It's going to have to be a blazingly fast pace for Syracuse to get back into this one. And I am not liking these odds, but Jack, there's the way to start it off. Puts 1 in. Just need another 3. But hey, can't get 3 without 1, you know? So good start from Jack there. A nice shot from midfield. A little bit of an overcommittal from Florida State. A mishit. And that is a goal for Syracuse here. 4-1 now with 30 seconds to go.
I mean, it's entirely possible for them. I believe the EGF record for goals in a minute was 6 from Georgetown. It was ridiculous. They almost brought it back at the end of the game. So Syracuse, they do stand some sort of a chance. But as that timer continues to tick down, you can feel their heart rate slowing, the breathing going down because they know this one is going to be going to Florida State University. 4-1, an impressive scoreline here and a great one to finish it off. It feels like they've only gotten better the longer the game has gone on, and with 1 second on the clock, that is going to be it. Florida State University Seminoles are going to be taking the first match of the day.
Yeah, congratulations to FSU. That was really their game to lose, and they said there's no way we are giving this one up. They fought hard, they fought well, and now it's going to be Syracuse having to reset their mental before the next game where they will be facing off against University of Delaware.
Yeah, and you know what? Emotions may be high for the first game. They may be getting warmed up, but you know what? We can ask the man himself. I'll pop Salcedo into the call, and we can get a little bit of an interview going. Salcedo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Seems like you started off your day nicely. A win against Syracuse, 3-0 nonetheless. How'd you guys feel about how you played?
Oh, we felt good. I mean, we weren't playing too hot when we were warming up, but I think we're starting to pick it up now, and we're hoping to have a good day.
Yeah, you guys are looking a lot more aggressive than you normally do, right? You're coming out the demo meta. My God, is something that we haven't seen from you guys in the past. You tend to be a little bit more soft-handed with it, but you're coming in today left and right demos and sending multiple people after balls, and the aggression's coming out. And normally it's something that Icarus has been the catalyst of. Is that something that you guys are consciously doing as a team, looking to get a bit more aggressive?
Yeah, I would definitely say so, and especially for myself personally, because I'm kind of the one that tends to sit back more, and especially the last game, I really tried to pick it up and just play as fast and as aggressive as I could. And I mean, Lucas kind of spearheads that because he tends to be our best scorer, so it's good to have him play when he's playing well.
Well, you've got another game later on up against Mizzou, your next one, right? You need a lot of confidence going into that. Mizzou, one of those top 3 seeds, a really, really big threat. And you guys are the first ones who get a shot to take them down. Do you have any parting words, any bits of confidence that you can give to all the Seminoles I see in the chat right now cheering for you?
Well, we're just excited to play him.
Hey, I'm sure they're just excited to see you. Good luck in your match, and hopefully we can hear a bit more from you in the future.
All right, thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving on into our next match here. As I cut over to the schedule, it's going to be UD taking on DePaul. Now, DePaul hasn't really gotten to interact with UD at all. DePaul, of course, coming out of that Big East Conference. Delaware had to fight through their own group, but the Big East teams have been coming up pretty big. Cool J, I'll let you get a little bit of info in on this real quick before we cut it to a break.
Well, just talking about where these teams have come from, where they're going, right? Well, honestly, just a quick recap from yesterday. We saw from Group 1... Hold on a second here. My fact check monkeys are doing some work for us. So from Group 1, we saw Tennessee Tech and Washington State moving on, and that one was actually close because RIT was also 3-1 in that group, but they didn't have the game score. So there was actually a big upset in that group. RIT was one of the favorites for our tournament. Not our number one, but definitely one of the favorites. They didn't even make it out of the championship stage groups because Tennessee Tech and Washington State, they're moving on to Sunday. And as well in Group 2, we saw UT Arlington, who is probably number 1 in our power rankings right now, looking absolutely dominant, going 4-0. The University of Kentucky as well went 3-1, and they looked very strong. Definitely not a team that I would want to run into tomorrow if I'm one of these schools that's moving forward.
Well, right now it's all about getting to tomorrow. And starting off the day 1-0, good stuff from Florida State. Syracuse is going to have plenty of games to come, but now it's all about UD versus DePaul, and we'll get that match up and running for you guys in just a bit. So keep your eyes on your screens and your butts in those seats. We'll be right back at you with some more Rocket League action. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We've got our second game already on the row for you. We have UD taking on DePaul. UD, always a tournament favorite here at EGF, always giving us strong showings. And you know what? Without the bane of their existence, RIT, in the running anymore, all they got to do now is make it out of this group to get a strong playoff contention. DePaul, the first people to stand in their way. Cool J, how you feeling about this matchup?
Well, this one should be a fun one, and I'm really interested to see, because these two teams in the group stages, they were good, they did well, but definitely not some of the best performances. Delaware did look really good, but they were in what I consider to be a weaker group, so they went 6-0, but I really didn't think they felt challenged at all. So maybe we'll see if DePaul can give them their first challenge today. DePaul, of course, coming from the Big East Conference, and they're going to have to prove that they earned that spot coming out of the Big East, because, of course, there were so many more spots coming from the Big East.
I mean, they won the original Big East Power Series. They came in, or I believe it was first or second place in that, and DePaul already showing us why. A 1-0 lead, and UD, to kind of preface this a little bit, right, I'll give you a little bit of information, Cub. UD is a very defensive-oriented team. They like camping it out, parking the bus, just living back there and relying on really solid rotations and fundamentals of Rocket League without needing anything too flashy. You see Humanel already, he's looking for a pass center to Feeve and things like that, right? Looking for team play, looking for things that aren't going to be too risky in and of themselves. So DePaul really need to come in and look to give us a bit of a fast look, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would think so. If UD is defensive as you say they are, making sure that you're able to take advantage of any opening that you can get is certainly going to be important. And even rotating back on defense when UD has possession of the ball, then making sure that you're blocking whatever shots that they're taking, not even letting them get one or two in the net, is really going to be important.
Oh, speaking of one or two, we see DePaul with the second goal. UD blocking shot after shot after shot, but I'm afraid you can only block so many here. Grau comes down. He's desperately trying for it. He's not going to be able to find much, and I'm seeing UD really struggle to build this ball out of their half, really struggling to build momentum against DePaul. Yes, they're getting the defense there. Yes, they're holding on for a good while, but you need to convert that into something, don't you, Cool J?
Yeah, it's really all about like trying to convert, and honestly, I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some adjustments from Delaware, but this is really what I was expecting, at least for game one. DePaul is a very good team. Delaware, they showed they were good in the group stage. Going 6-0, no matter how easy your group is, still not an easy thing to do. But I think this is their first real challenge against a really tough opponent, and I'm interested to see how they respond to this kind of pressure.
Yeah, they're coming out hyper aggressive up against UD, but UD aren't really putting up much of a fight back here. They need to build out of their half. Where do you think that starts, Cub?
Well, not only taking this defensive stance that they have been, they need to have a little bit more presence of mind to try and clear the ball out. They're able to get a lot of good saves, as DePaul is pretty relentless with their shots. But it's going to be the conversion that is going to be very important. Yeah, Feeve right there, right with what you need to do. Kick it out off of a nice save and send it into DePaul's side.
Yeah, look for a counterattack. Look to set up your teammates here. But look at this. Every single time they get it into DePaul territory, DePaul is playing it out beautifully. But this one not. Grau in. 50-50 for the shot. And UD find their first goal of the day.
And there it is. We've talked about it so many times. It's really a mental game. The longer you see that big old goose egg up on the scoreboard, it just gets harder and harder. You get inside your own head. Grau putting that one in there, going to ease the minds of this Delaware squad. They're reminding themselves what they can do, what they're capable of. they can put the ball in the back of the net. They can make big plays happen. Oh, and the human L trying to hand an L to him from all the way across the pitch. Not going to work out that time, but exactly what Delaware needed, that first goal. Now they just need one more to even things up with a little bit more than a minute and a half to go.
Well, one goal isn't much here, but they need to get aggressive. They need to shake that play style, at least for now. That one goal is not going to score itself, at least not against a team like DePaul, who are getting aggressive in the midfield. Humanel has a shot, rips it with an air roll, and it's going to be upper bins. 2-2, the score all tied up.
Yeah, Humanel really showing off the offensive capabilities of this squad. I mean, he's getting these touches from midfield and is just finding crazy shots on net when DePaul doesn't really have anyone back in defense. So being able to have a strong defense and now a strong offense as well, it's going to be very scary for DePaul for the rest of the series.
Yeah, DePaul need to be careful here because UD starting to figure them out, starting to figure out exactly what they need to be doing to put goals into the back of the net, searching for a third here, and they found it. Feeve coming in, the third one in what feels like no time. UD are putting on a clinic on a comeback.
Well, here's the thing. I expected Delaware to get into a groove. I didn't expect it to happen so fast. They really turned the corner and they went from 0 to 100 in just about 2.5 seconds. I mean, just incredible stuff from them now. 3-2 lead with not much time left to go, but we've seen DePaul. They know how to put the ball in the back of the net. They're the ones who started off strong. They've just got to finish this one out as the time is ticking down. Can they come through in the clutch and tie this game back up? Oh no,
they nearly can't, but Humanel makes sure that is not happening anytime soon. A fourth goal on the board for UD. And they have the download here on DePaul. All of the strats known before they can even do them. UD is absolutely blisteringly strong right now, coming off with a comeback and even more.
Yeah, and that was such a sad play if you're on the side of DePaul. Like, seeing it get jumped over by... getting jumped over for the shot and then going through 2 defenders, that's just painful to watch the replay.
Oh, it's hard, but this may be harder. A 5th goal in the works here for UD, and that it'll be. Relentless here, no mercy shown to DePaul, and I feel like those first 2 goals only angered the beast.
Yeah, that's really all I can say. I mean, DePaul came out strong, and then, you know, maybe they awoke the beast, or maybe they kind of got a little complacent. I think, you know, I think they came in, they were looking to bring the fight to Delaware, and then they kind of backed off a little bit. I want to see them come back with some of that same fight, some of that same fire in Game 2, but for Game 1, it's been all, well, it wasn't all Delaware, but the last half of that was all Delaware. 5-2 victory for them.
Now, Cub, you're DePaul. You start off well. The confidence is there, and then all of a sudden, Delaware, I don't know what happened, man. The game completely turned around. There's a new team. It looked like they just turned on their monitors, right? It's night and day difference. But what do you do if you're DePaul, right? What's the biggest thing they need to fix? Do they need to focus more on the midfield? Are they losing more so on their own defensive rotations? Where do you see the hole here?
So, DePaul, in the early game, they had a very strong offense, but I think that was because UD was kind of warming up and just getting the read on this DePaul squad. So I think that DePaul almost needs to take the same sort of action. Take a second and understand your opponent. They were playing heavily defensive early on, and then they started to really turn on the afterburners for the whole second half of that match. They were going very hard every chance that they could get, and they went from ground passes to easy lobs all the way to air dribbles, flicks, pinch, throw it down the pitch and just get whatever shot they can. So DePaul really needs to start. Yeah.
Please have mercy, UD. The kickoff goal is not the start that they wanted to see right now. DePaul, that's got to be disheartening, doesn't it, Cool J, right? You think, okay, fresh game, start out 0-0. No, fresh game, start out 1-0. Make the comeback, DePaul.
Yeah, Delaware, they're not interested in the 0-0 games anymore. They're not done. They're done playing, and they are not messing around right now. Oh my goodness. Thief puts it in again,
God.
and what is that angle, too, from the corner?
I mean, I'll say it. We haven't seen double digits yet today. I don't think this is going to be the game, right? I think DePaul have a lot of time to really figure out what's going wrong here, at least where on this field they need to be applying pressure to shut down UD. But when both of the shots have come from the wall at midfield, I mean, what are you going to do?
Oh, that was even close right there. A little bit high of a dribble. But UD, they're really getting complacent on this defense. I know I said that they needed to take time to read, but I think that they just need to tighten up their gameplay a little bit. They're getting a little sloppy here, missing some pretty easy saves that should not be missed.
Well, easy saves are one thing UD haven't had to make because there hasn't even been a shot from DePaul yet. One thrown out, though. Feeb with it. Now Jacko plays it back mid. Dangerous territory. Feeb gets it out. Ofish looks to stuff it, but can't quite find the back of the net now. Ball dangling in no man's land. UD slowly but surely running out of boost, running out of resources to shut down this attack. Jacko tries for one more touch, and he finds it into the lower right corner. DePaul starts to drag this one back and show, you know what? They're still alive.
Still alive indeed. They had a tough second half of game one, and already here in game two starting off very poorly. However, that goal going to help them get back into it. One goal lead is almost never safe in the world of Rocket League. One errant goal, one small mistake, and the score is all tied up. And that is exactly what DePaul is hoping for. Karmajuni fires a goal where it's a little off target. Ofish in the corner looking to try and set things up for his team, but now actually DePaul backing off, looking to win it in the midfield, and they do. Karmajuni shoots it, and he scores. Incredible setup play from DePaul here, and I love the patience to reset their attack. Jaco with a great pass over the middle, and the shot from DePaul to even things up.
All right, now we got a series on our hands. UD, that defense that you were talking about, Cub, it's getting exploited. All those mistakes, the missed rotations that we've been seeing, they haven't been where they need to be on time. And now this is 100% a game of offense, right? The team that's attacking is very likely to score, and so it's all just anything that you can do, I can do better from UD. They need to get this into the attacking half and start forming something, or else it's going to be another dangerous situation for him here as Jacko comes out.
Yeah, and I think he said it perfectly. Anything you can do, I can't do better. Both of these teams are showing their incredible offensive potential. And now, really what these teams have got to be looking for is better rotations onto the backside. Oftentimes, a lot of these shots are getting stuffed by 2v1 offensive opportunities. But Human L proving me wrong, going right through the hands of two. Ofish and Jaco sitting in the net, finds the corner right underneath. Incredible stuff.
And right, we talked about anything you can do, I can do better, and we just saw that. DePaul come in for an attack. They're not able to create anything out of the corner. UD get the ball. It is then their turn. Keep the ball into the DePaul territory for just a little bit and sneak one in. Now, as much as both the teams may get attacks, it's going to be about who finishes better.
Yeah, and now coming into the second half of this game, you mentioned it perfectly. It's going to be who can finish it out. Right now, Delaware, they're in the lead, so they're feeling comfortable that they can finish this one the way they want to. Grau was looking to increase their lead. Jaco at the last second going to knock that one away. Grau coming in again, though. He's relentless. And Delaware extends their lead 4-2 with 2 minutes left to go.
Is what we want to see from them, right? I want that consistent pressure. We expect them to go far, and that they will if they continue to play like this. DePaul play them at their own game for a little bit, but that's one that you're going to lose.
Indeed it is. UD really showing really showing, I think, everyone here what they have as a team. Wow, and Fish just stopping me in my tracks. I mean, look, it's off the backboard. The whiff from the human L on the initial save allows for him to get the clean follow-up.
Now, though, DePaul, they're close to being into this one, nearly tied up with 1 goal the difference. They're on the attack constantly. A good attempt here could be had, but Human L shuts it down immediately. Jacko fires it back in this midfield. Who is going to win the ball is super important as that minute ticks down. There's only going to be so many more possessions left in this game.
Yeah, I mean, really just time running down. That goal was certainly good for DePaul, but the thing is, thanks to Grau and the aggression of this Delaware side, they had a 2-goal cushion, so the game is not over yet. DePaul, they're trying to make stuff happen, sending it over the middle, but the Human L and Grau winning in the midfield, now playing it into the corner, or trying to. Carmen Judy, oh, Yanko, from midfield, bar down into the goal, and that's the equalizer with less than a minute to go.
Oh boy, we might see a little bit of overtime, but with the rate that these teams are scoring at, I highly doubt it. DePaul comes back with a strong set of goals here, and UD, we know they have it in them. We've seen it time and time again. Just score goals at a rapid pace, but if you're not getting any ball possession, I think that's really, really tough.
Yeah, whoever's going to be able to control the ball better is going to be the team that finds the win here, and UD showing that they can handle it just as well as anyone in this competition. Great aerial pass off the backboard again into Grau's hands for the free 5th point.
And I feel like that's something that we haven't seen played much, right? The backboard for either of these teams hasn't been utilized, and so maybe that's something that DePaul could look towards to try and even this one up. But there's only 40 seconds left in the game, and the goal is still a goal lead.
I mean, DePaul does have it on their side right now, so they have a chance. 30 seconds remain. Oh, Fish looking for it and finds it. Opposite corner. Great shot from him.
Dude, the goals just go back and forth, and not only can they do anything you can do better, but they can do anything UD does. And you know, I feel like we're going to go into overtime, right? We got 2 goals there in the span of just under a minute, but now, with both these teams on the ropes, I promise you neither of them want to give up a goal. They're both going to be pretty risk avoiding as far as this play goes, risk averse, if you will. But Fish, good opportunity. Grau off the wall, and now Feeve creates a counterattack. Human L whiffs it though and can't keep it up. Overtime we go.
The first overtime of the day, ladies and gentlemen, between these two teams. And we're seeing a much better matchup here in Game 2 than what we saw in Game 1. DePaul is matching Delaware goal for goal. And now it all comes down to this. One small mistake can end this overtime. Oh, Carmen Judy pitch off the ceiling. I thought somebody was going to be there to follow up on it, but no one over the middle for DePaul. So back we go, back and forth. Feeve fires it goalwards. Jaco there for the save. Oh, but Feeve again with the shot. Human L back and forth. Delaware trying to force it in. Just relentless pressure. And finally, Grau with his hat-trick goal, 3rd goal of the game, wins it for Delaware here in Game 2.
Delaware coming up big when it counts. Their overtime didn't even last all that long, and that's exactly what they're looking for, right? DePaul start to show a pulse. They start to come back and build into the game. You want to shut that down, take that momentum away before Game 3 as soon as possible.
Indeed, this Game 3 is really going to be important here. It is tied up in the series. I believe that it is. Yeah, 1-1 currently in the standings. Or no, my bad. It is UD up 2-0. So, yeah, Game 3, even more pressure here. This could be the end of the series right here for DePaul.
Yeah, they got to be real careful about what they do. They need to figure out what they want to adapt right now, because honestly, we're seeing them continually struggle in the same way. And that's my biggest problem with what they've got going on right now, right? We haven't seen any change of pace or anything from them. Cool J, what do you want to see out of this DePaul team next round?
Honestly, it's tough to say. I really liked what I saw from them in Game 2. They just weren't quite able to pull it off. And I really just think that the focus needs to be at a higher level for them. They are good enough to hang with this Delaware squad. They're good enough to beat this Delaware squad. And they really showed it there. And I feel like they just let it fall apart too late.
Well, we'll find out whether or not they're able to put those pieces back together in just a moment, folks. We got to make up a new server, and we'll be right back with you in just a moment. We're back on, ladies and gentlemen. We got our next and what might be our final match between these two teams as UD takes on DePaul, currently up 2-0. DePaul's back's against the ropes, and they're yet to show us a bit of a new look to try and catch UD off guard. Will this be the game that they do it? Will it be the game that they turn it around? Well, it's all up to them to figure that one out.
So far, possession staying mostly on DePaul's side, but they are getting it back around now. Coming back over to DPU once again. A few shots getting close here. Passes trying to find their mark. Thieve losing that 50-50. But Human L gonna be keeping the possession. Stolen away by Jaco.
Now, this is what we want to be seeing from DePaul. Just stabilization more than anything. I don't need these rapid fire goals. This is a game that you're not going to beat UD at. You need to slow it down, play more controlling, get your rotations going. That's how you're going to beat this side. Now, Cool J, you've seen DePaul play for a little bit. You've seen their rotations. What have you thought about them while they're playing at this fast pace?
Well, honestly, I've kind of felt similar to you. I feel like they can't beat Delaware at this game. They can't beat Delaware at their own game, is what I meant to say. And coming into this, I really felt like this one could be even. I felt like Delaware would start slow and then kind of get their groove going. And that's what we've seen so far. And I'm wondering if DePaul
Oh, the mind games!
What?
Grow! You didn't have to do them like that.
The nasty head fake there on the dribble. Oh,
You could watch it 10 times over, I swear.
somebody clipped that. Oh, man.
I'm sure we can get somebody to grab a clip of that one. Send it straight back to Growl. Put it in the highlight reel. That is how you take away some dignity. As if DePaul weren't already having a bad enough time here. You're at an insult to injury with a shot like that. Human Elk, the flip reset off the roof. Okay, he was looking for something a little bit spicy, but just going to hold it for the time being now. As DePaul try and build out of their own half.
Now back and forth.
Game.
Ofish playing it into the corner for DePaul. Trying to see if he can make something happen. Grau winning the challenge, though. Now back down the field comes this Delaware squad. Human L trying to give an L, bring that score back. He was an impact player for Delaware in the group stages, but he hasn't really shown up today. He hasn't done much of anything for this squad. So we'll see if maybe he can break his silence, get onto the scoreboard. Jaco with a attempted clear, but they still are struggling to get it out of their half. Delaware winning in the midfield, and Grau gonna put in his second goal of the game.
Man, Grau is going off left and right, constantly applying pressure. You see up the wall, follows it up, makes sure that one hits the back of the net. And with half the game already gone here, DePaul haven't shown us any looks inside the UD half.
Yeah, UD just really relentless. And I mean, and by UD, I mean Grau just going at it again and again. But DePaul kind of struggling to find their footing on defense here a little bit. Even with that last save attempt, I feel like he could have done a little bit more something to try and get that out. It hit the crossbar on the inside, sending it back for Grau to get the follow-up, push it in. But, yeah, DePaul just needs to do what they can here and see about getting this ball anywhere away from their net.
Well, they're starting to build out of their half a little bit, but sending two members up, that's a huge commitment. This should be easy for UD to get out of their half. Now that no boost is had on the side of DePaul, they need to sit back, regain it. Now it's UD's turn to attack yet again. Let's see if they're able to commit a third goal into the back of the net, but DP does manage to get the ball heading towards UD and finally catch out an overcommit ball over the goal. Grau plays it wide, and that placement is so good. He can continue to apply aggression, buy as much time for his team as possible. And as that 1 minute horn is about to sound here, it looks worse and worse for DePaul.
Yeah, it looks worse and worse. I mean, that's really just what I'm thinking. DePaul, they're playing for their lives here. This is it. Backs against the wall. If they can't make something happen in this last minute, it's a 3-0. That's not how they want to start their day here at the championship stage. Ofish playing it goalwards. No one's there to follow up. And really what I'm seeing from DePaul is they're not playing with purpose right now. They are playing to survive. They're not playing to win. And I just need to see more from them. There's 30 seconds left to go. There is time. I mean, 2 goals, it's really not a lot in the world of Rocket League. And there's one! A nice setup there from DePaul. That's exactly the kind of purpose that I wanted to see from them. Jaco coming through, sets it right up for his teammate. Karmajuni rockets it into the goal.
Well, they're almost back, and you know what? 30 seconds is more than doable time for a goal here. Could come from a counterattack, could come from anywhere, but UD haven't quite been ready for. But what they are ready for is a kickoff goal from Grau. Insult to injury, the hat trick on top of it all. And the man who's been big all game looks to close it out on his own.
And that is really just painful for DePaul. I was going to mention before the kickoff started, you know, the only real way that DePaul is completely out of this game is if UD gets a sick kickoff goal right here. And yeah, I think that just broke them. I don't even think that they're trying to play to survive anymore. I think they're playing to get out of this match.
Ooh, the straw that broke the camel's back, and it's delivered by no less than Phoebe. Now UD, maybe they find a 5th goal. They're searching for as much as they can here in the final moments of this match. 10 seconds gonna take down a ready victory for them, and one that I feel like they needed to start off their day. And with all that, I mean, we can say they've definitively looked better and better with each game that goes on. DePaul struggled to play them at their own game, and it's weird because this isn't usually a UD that we see play this way. DePaul has come in and changed up how UD want to play, but in a way that UD are actually still better at playing that style than DePaul.
Well, honestly, I just got to say, you know, a lot of people coming into this thought I was, you know, underestimating DePaul, that I was sleeping on them, and I don't think that I was. I really felt like Delaware was going to win that one. I thought that DePaul was going to put up more of a fight, actually, so I overestimated DePaul going into that. Maybe we'll see DePaul come through later on today and really come back and put up a better performance, because that was not what I was expecting to see from them. Delaware, however, looking great as usual, and we'll see if they can keep that greatness going as we move forward throughout the day.
Yeah, we're going to try and get a quick interview online here with one of the Delaware guys. Try and get a little insight on how they think that match went. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. And we're back now, joined with the one, the only KG Kendall. How you doing, man? How you feeling after that victory?
Yep, the first of many today. We have a lot of games today.
I like the confidence, right? You came out swinging against DePaul, and you guys look like a team renewed right now. We're used to seeing you play very defensively, rely on solid fundamentals, great rotations, but there was a lot of aggression in that game. You guys came out swinging. Was that a plan of you guys, or was it just specifically to counter what DePaul was doing?
Yeah, after their first 2 goals in game 1 when we went down, we saw that we were playing kind of slow, and so were they, and we could just capitalize on them playing slow, so we just went super aggressive.
Yeah, the aggression really came out. Now, do you think it was really one player spearheading it, or was it all three of you really trying to just get in their half and mess with their business?
I think everyone did their part, but the Human L scored a lot of goals in those first 2 games.
Yeah, showing up on the attacking half, making sure the pressure's in the opposing half. Now, you mentioned that this was specifically something that you saw coming out of this game up against DePaul, right? You saw them playing slow, so you picked up the pace, tried to just outspeed them. But you've got another game coming up later up against Syracuse. Do you expect to be doing more of the same, or how do you see that match going?
To be honest, we don't know that much about Syracuse, but I assume it'll be pretty similar to this game.
All right. Any parting words here to your fans in the chat that I know are rooting for you guys? Any words of confidence for that next game even?
Yeah, we'll probably take it. I probably won't be playing, but we're gonna take it. We're probably gonna top this group today.
I hope I can see you in a later interview. And honestly, with you guys at the helm, I'm sure I will. Thank you so much for popping by, though.
Yep, thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our third match of the day. We got to see Florida State take down Syracuse, but now they're fighting against the big dogs, or cats, should I say, as Mizzou look to take them down. Mizzou, of course, the #1 seed within this group, trying to just shut down everybody. They're the ones with the most riding on it. They're the only team currently to have taken down UTA, and so heading out into this next game. Cool J, you want to give us a couple words on it?
Well, honestly, looking at this one, Missouri, one of our favorites for the entire tournament, and then Florida State, we just saw on stream earlier, coming out and absolutely dominating Syracuse. A really, really strong victory there for them. Florida State, they're going to be looking to continue their momentum, and Missouri, they're going to be looking to prove that they deserve that top ranking that we've given to them. So hopefully, it should be a pretty fun match to watch. We'll be back with that one pretty soon for you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our third game of the day. Here we saw Florida State University punch up a weight class, take down that number 9 seed in Syracuse. Now, though, we're cranking it up a couple notches. Mizzou, the 3rd seed, coming in for their first game of the day, and the Seminoles are looking to take them down here. I am Doran. I'm joined by Cool J, and why don't we hop straight into this match?
Yeah, Florida State and Missouri, this one is going to be a good one. Probably one of the best, probably two of the best teams in this group. Missouri, of course, one of the best teams in our entire EGF Power Series. Certainly one that we're expecting to go far. And Florida State, we saw them earlier today get off to a great start with that victory against Syracuse. And they're looking to keep it going here and maybe knock off these Tigers.
I mean, the only team to take down UTA is a title that not many have here, with Mizzou coming out strong. We know their rotations are going to be good. The mechanics have to be there, and Florida State University had better be playing on point if they want to win this match. We heard a lot of confidence out of them, right? They were playing a really aggressive game earlier, but Mizzou already are just laying on the heat.
Yeah, early on, going for these aggressive plays. Ooh, Blanks bouncing it up, winning a challenge against 2 FSU defenders. But luckily for Florida State, Ghost is right there to bring it back down the pitch. Salcido on the corner, winning a challenge against, I believe that was Chalks. Back and forth it goes. Blanks with a long-range shot attempt. Icarus is able to save it, but now Missouri, they see their opportunity. Salcido desperately trying to bring it back the other way, but Missouri forcing this ball to stay in Florida State's half, putting on so much pressure right now. Ethanol over the middle, the shot, the goal! A nice setup there from Missouri to get the first goal here in this match.
And Salcido got into here. You see him leave the goal. He thinks he's got just enough time to sneak out for that one, but doesn't see the Miz player sitting in waiting for that open net to be available. Florida State University, a team with a lot of history of playing super defensive, but how defensive can you be against a team with as much attacking prowess as Mizzou?
Yeah, well, Florida State was not happy about that statement. Doris Salcido, he doesn't want to stay behind for very long, and he comes right on in. I guess all those tomatoes are helping him out as he puts it in the net.
I mean, quality stuff there. A great forward challenge, and I feel like the best FSU that we'll see will be a mix of the FSU that we saw earlier against Syracuse, along with their traditional style. Finding a bounce, but no! Oh, the pass backwards fails. He jukes his own teammate, and Ethanol gets the ball in for free.
Well, this has certainly been an exciting start to this matchup. Goal after goal, these teams trading punches here in game 1. Missouri back on top. They were not happy with that equalizer from Salcido, but Salcido already skying through. He drops it over, goes in front of the goal. Ethanol with the save, though. If he was just there a little bit earlier, that could have been another equalizer for Florida State.
It could have been, but I'll tell you what, Salcedo is going to need some more tomatoes from you guys if they want any chance of seeing the back of this net. They got a lucky 50-50 challenge catching Mizzou off guard, but I promise you, they're not going to be making that mistake again. Florida State University are going to have to work for this goal. Salcedo going out very aggressive, trying to dribble his way out of the half. Does win a 50-50 here with Icarus, but Chalks has a dangerous play. Good touch by Salcedo, but it's just put into no man's land. Icarus very carefully plays this one right on out. And Florida State University, they need to be careful with how they do this, but they've set themselves up with a nice play. Dribble from Salcedo, 1v1, flip over. Does he find the bump? The demo's there, but no one to follow up. There it is! Ghost does it!
Yeah, Florida State trying to give Missouri a bit of their own medicine there, going for the demolition goal, but just not quite there. However, the attack continues, and Florida State putting that one in. A full team effort. All 3 members getting involved, touching the ball right there. 2.5 minutes to go, and we are all even yet again. However, last time we were in this situation, Missouri wasted no time getting back into the lead.
Oh, what a save!
Chalks, what an incredible save on this man to keep Missouri in the game, keep it all tied up. 2 minutes left to go, and this one could not get more exciting.
Absolutely not here. Both teams coming out swinging. Florida State showing they can hang with the big boys right now, but Chalks is up. Gets the flip reset off the ball, just sets up Ethanol though. Blanks to rebound it in. Ghost just barely can't beat him to the ball, and it is so close. But oh my goodness, Chalks straight into the upper corner. Can't find the goal, but Blanks is going to be the one to finish it off. 150 remaining on the clock in this game, just as exciting as ever.
And the thing is, you get that save on Chalks' goal, but you couldn't clear the ball. It was bouncing for so long, and Blanks able to rush in there and just tap it on in there. Little love tap to the ball, put it in the goal. And that is the lead again now for Missouri. Florida State has played a good game so far, but all of their plays have been responses to Missouri. We have yet to see them take the lead in this series. Maybe that is their next step, but for now, Chalks with a nice clearance, playing it into the midfield, and Salcedo's having none of it. He demos him. Oh, go over the midfield. Icarus, but Ethanol with a perfect save right there. Salcedo coming through.
What? What is he's just picking up the trash at this point? Ball goes out, an amazing challenge by Ethanol. Salcedo, though, the placement here just past where anybody could have reached. The Mizzou rotations break down at the final moment. They think they're free, but Florida State continues to knock on their door.
Yeah, Florida State, they are not giving up. A minute left, and we are all even yet again. Tied at 3 is this game. Salcedo, he wants more. He's hungry. Chalk's going to clear it out to Blanks, though. And then now look at them coming up the field. This Missouri team moving as a unit. All 3 players, one mind, one team. Incredible stuff. But it gets broken up. Ghost plays it off the backboard, but no one there to follow up on it. Still, though, a chance here, but Missouri trying to break it the other way. Chalks plays it across the middle of the field. That one just goes right into Ghost's hands. Ghost now trying to play it in the corner. Blanks with a nice disrupting touch, and he's actually going to bring it back the other way, bring it into the midfield. Icarus going for a win, but actually the challenge is won by Missouri. Ghost now trying to take a controlling touch, sets it up. Ooh, the pinch between Ghost and Salcedo brings it down the field. Oh, 30 seconds left to go. Florida State trying to set things up, but just getting shut down. Missouri in the same boat. Both teams playing so well on the defensive side, not making mistakes, not allowing these setups to happen. But now an opportunity for Florida State here with 10 seconds left to go. They are deep in Missouri's half. Icarus playing it back in when they tried to clear it out. This could be the last second opportunity. Salcedo plays it off the backboard. They can't let it touch the ground now. Is it going to go? And there it is. We're going to overtime here in game 1 between these two teams, ladies and gentlemen.
And it is damn close right now. The Seminoles are going to make a statement, looking to put themselves up with that upper echelon of teams. Salcedo has a shot here, rips it, but Blanks is in the way. Now it's Icarus coming in 3 versus 2 right now. Mizzou need to rotate back. Chalks with a good touch played out by Ethanol. Counterattack now in, confirmed, but Ghost putting it back out wide. Could he find the second touch? No! Chalks instead finds the angle. 4-3. Mizzou make it a quick overtime.
Ghost, that's not a good touch from him. It allows Chalks that opening for him to do it all by himself, playing it off the wall, and a nice game-winning goal there from Missouri. But man, I could not have hoped for a better game 1. It was close all the way to the end, and I'm looking forward to game 2 to see Florida State maybe strike back.
I mean, if you're Florida State, this is a great start, but it's kind of scary because this is Missouri's first game of the day. If they didn't have the warm-up that you did, right, this Missouri team is only going to be getting stronger and stronger and growing as they go on. So Florida State need to dig deep, find a little extra to make this game just as competitive as the last. And honestly, I think if they can continue on with that, they're bound to take away a couple of games up against Mizzou. It's worth noting, though, FSU are coming in. They were the 12th seed. This is some serious underdog stuff they've been pulling off, but they have been upset after upset ever since they beat Georgia Tech earlier on this week.
And we'll see if they can keep it going with the upset city. They were certainly very close there in game 1 to taking off a game from these Missouri Tigers. They are a threatening squad. They're a formidable squad. It's one that everyone has to look out for because of plays like that. Chalks trying to put it in early on, just barely off target first, and then Salcedo with the save on his second shot attempt. But man, that one could have been bad fast. Ghost with a demo, giving Missouri some of their own medicine, but Chalk's in position to save that shot there. Blank's now going to demo him right back. He says, you know what, that's our move. We're going to make it happen. Both of these teams trying to get some setups here. Ghost off the wall to Salcedo in the midfield. Icarus there, trying to touch it though. Chalks playing it in for Missouri. Blanks over the middle, plays it off the back wall, trying to set it up. No one's there for the rebound. Ethanol and Chalks both in the midfield, looking to just keep it in the half for now. And there's the shot, off target again from Chalks. Salcedo now in control, trying to bring it back down the pitch, but a shot from Chalks. Icarus in position for the save. This is chaos right now, but the important thing is it's Missouri's controlled chaos. They keep going in, shot after shot after shot after shot, and Ethanol finally finds the back of the net.
Yeah, man, a whole minute into the game, a whole minute of pressure down onto Florida State. It was bound to happen eventually. They've got to find their own way out of this half, start finding those wide clears to their own players to start building actually threatening attacks, not just counterattacks to rely on. Bar down, though. It's a threat, and Icarus can't put it in.
Ryan, but Salcedo puts it in, the equalizer, and this one's looking a lot like game one so far. Missouri struck first, but Florida State, they're not going to stay down for very long. Popping that one on in there for the Seminoles.
And it's just what you're looking for here if you're Florida State. Still some more responsive play, but at least it's even for them. They would love to take a lead now, though. It's taken them this long to even get those goals, but a dangerous pinch here leaves Ethanol with an open goal, and it's going to be a second, on the board here for Missouri.
Absolutely relentless play from Missouri. They're not giving an inch to this Florida State squad. They took personal offense to that goal, and they're going to strike back quickly. They're not interested in playing a tie game. They want to be in front. That's where they feel comfortable. They've got that killer mentality, but Icarus is feeling it too. He fires a shot goalwards. Ethanol just barely getting the save, but now Florida State, they're going aggressive here. Chalks trying to clear it out, and he's going to be able to. Icarus, though, wins it in the midfield. Oh, look at that play! Blanks gets faked out. Ethanol in position, though, and that could have been a goal if Salcedo was in position. But Missouri, by the skin of their teeth, gonna escape that one. And now, yet again, looking for a goal on Florida State's side.
Still, the pressure is on, but it hasn't net Missouri all that much, other than not too much pressure on their side of the field. The score still standing at 2-1. Florida State's defensive history coming in, showing their prowess in that regard. The whole other story, trying to beat down Mizzou, who are having such great 50-50s in the opposing half. Chalks looks to play it out wide here, but it is just shot after backboard touch after backboard touch, and Blanks is going to be the man to finally finish it off here just halfway through the game.
I feel like Florida State, those near misses earlier on, I feel like it really affected them, because giving up that goal is going to put them in a bad spot now, down 2 goals. About halfway through this game, it is all on Florida State to try and turn this one around. You don't want to give up game 2 to Missouri going into game 3 down 0-2. That's the worst spot you could possibly be in here today. It's not how they want to start their day. Icarus bringing it down. Ethanol going to win the challenge in the midfield. Salcedo, though, he's not interested. They're keeping it in their half. It goes! A rocket from midfield. There were 2 members of Missouri in the goal, but it was just nothing they could do about it. Incredible shot from Ghost.
Quality stuff from him, but Florida State still trailing by 1 goal. And you know what? They haven't been able to find 2 in a row quite yet. Mizzou has always struck back strong, but FSU needs to start finding pressure early. Need to start finding it before Mizzou can mount an attack that takes 3 minutes to get out of. And that's why they're struggling right now.
A demo from Icarus. Ghost firing it goalwards. Salcedo is over the middle. Oh, he tried to win it in the midfield, but he missed it. Icarus is back for the defensive rotations. Oh, and a great clear. Oh, and that's goalwards. It's so close, just a little bit off target. Chalk's going to play it back out for Missouri now. And now it's in the midfield, bouncing around. Both teams trying to take control. The thing is, because Missouri was able to get that 3rd goal, they're still up, even though Florida State just put 1 in from midfield off that incredible shot from Ghost. They need another one if they want to even things up here. 1.5 minutes to go, and it is crunch time. It's go time. It's do or die for Florida State right now, and they are threatening Missouri. Blanks with a nice clear back into the midfield, but Ghost not interested. He wants to keep the pressure up on this Missouri squad. Ghost again. Oh, just didn't put enough meat behind that shot. That one definitely could have gone in. Blanks able to get there for the save. Now Chalks putting up a shot of his own. Salcedo going up and contesting here as the ball is up over the middle of his own goal. Blanks with a shot. Salcedo with a save. Ethanol keeping it in, though. Ghost trying to clear this one out. They still need the equalizer, but Florida State still desperately trying to protect their own goal.
Yeah, Florida State definitely not out of the woods. One goal would be the nail in the coffin effectively for them. It's taken them this long to find those two. Now Ghost searching for a third flip reset, takes it up. Oh, but not enough height found onto the ball. Now it's all Mizzou's time on the clock. They're going to take as much of it away as they can. Chalks off the back wall, finds Ethanol, and again, this 1-2 off the post nets Mizzou a goal.
Not only netting Mizzou a goal, but giving Ethanol a hat trick. He showed up big here in game 2, and now a 4-2 lead for Missouri with 30 seconds left. We've seen crazier things happen, but I'm not liking these odds right now for Florida State. Missouri looks primed to take game 2 and go into game 3 with a 2-0 lead, looking at match point.
Dangerous territory here for Florida State, keeping it closer than they probably had a right to in the beginning, but now it's starting to catch up to them as Mizzou get better and better and start to warm up throughout the day. Florida State, though, not out of it. 2 goals of difference in this one is doable, but even next game, right, we're starting out 0-0. We know that they can score, so that means we know Mizzou can lose.
Yeah, definitely. Salcido trying to get one there. They're going to go for a last-second goal here, trying to keep it up. Just see if they can't get one, but Blanks, he's denying it. It won't affect the outcome, but Missouri not interested in actually. They're going to look to style on him. Ethanol with a big aerial dribble. Blanks playing it over the goal. Chalks with off the backboard. Ethanol with a shot. There's the save from Salcido. Not going to bleed anymore, but still the damage has been done. Missouri takes game 2, 4-2. And going into game 3 now on the match point and looking dominant as ever.
I mean, Florida State was having a really, really hard time building out of their half. They're able to make so much of the few opportunities they do have in the Missouri half. However, it's just been severely lacking on the actual passing play within their own half, right? So they're winning 50-50s, they're stopping shots, but it matters whether you play those out to, right? You don't want to put them into the center of the field. You don't want to allow them to use your backboard like that. So a little bit more backboard defense and a little bit more intentional passes out from your defense. And I think you honestly see a Florida State that can contest Missouri.
This definitely is a team that can contest Missouri. We saw it there in game 1. They really showed their strength. But the thing is, they have to be able to play a full game if they're going to be able to really bring the fight to Missouri and turn this series around. So that remains to be seen. In the meantime, computers doing computer things, the server getting a little bit messed up. We're going to get it set back up for you, and we'll be right back after a short break.
we're back here heading into what might be the final game of this series. Mizzou leading the pack 2-0 currently, but Florida State has been doing a good job of keeping it close. Can the 12th seed come up and overthrow, though, is the question. We've seen goals from Florida State, but never a lead. So now in Game 3, let's see if they can make the appropriate changes to make that difference.
Yeah, well, Salcedo early on, he was looking to give them their first lead. It didn't work out that time. Icarus with a nice controlling touch in the midfield, going to disrupt this offensive push from Missouri, but it's not going to stop it. Chalk still comes. Oh, man. Dread it. Rump front it. Chalks still arrives all the same. An incredible shot from him, punishing the aggression from Florida State there.
Yeah, Florida State coming out hot, thinking they're going to be able to find some sort of an early goal or aggression, but Mizzou were 100% prepared for that one. Coming out with one, but FSU another, tying up the scores. We've seen them do time and time again.
Yeah, we've seen them tied up, but as you mentioned, we haven't seen them take the lead. That's still a nice one for Florida State. Ghost putting that one in off the kickoff. He's going to feel great about it, but I need to see a little bit more from Florida State here if they're going to win this Game 3. Their backs are against the wall, and Missouri has everything in the world going for him right now. Chalk's playing it into the corner. Missouri again on the offensive. Blanks centering it over. A nice touch from Icarus, but Ethanol's right there in the midfield to win it and play it right back in. And we're seeing some more of those problems you were talking about, Dor. Trouble with playing out of their own half. There's a lot of balls that are played without purpose. We need to see them really taking control, and I like this from Salcedo, faking out a couple members of this Missouri defense. Ethanol finally getting a controlling touch, but the shot from Ghost. What a setup, and there we go. Florida State with their first lead of the series.
This might be the most interesting setup for a cross I've seen. Bump the player, leave the ball, and actually from behind, Ghost comes in on the tight angle, finishes it off 2-1, and it looks like we're going to have another relatively high-scoring game here, Cool J.
Well, what more can we expect from these two high-flying, high-octane rosters? Incredible stuff so far, and I'm looking forward to more. About a minute into this game, and we've already seen 3 goals scored. Missouri's looking to make it 4. They want to even up the score. Chalk's looking to put it in. He sets it up for Ethanol, but Salcedo with a perfect hit, and they overcommitted. Icarus playing it towards the goal. Blanks back on the rotations just in time. Missouri, their timings on these rotations is incredible. They're playing on the blade's edge, always getting back at the perfect moment for these saves.
Yeah, now the perfect time to take shots, though. Icarus trying to play it out, taking it nice and slow here for Florida State. And a lot of their play out of their own half has been individual, right? It's been Salcedo, it's been Icarus just taking the ball on their own out. Now, though, it's got to be Salcedo, or Ghost, pardon me, going to the side, air dribble off the sidewall, plays it right into the hands of Chalks, though. He's looking for the backboard pass, but the backboard defense from Mizzou has been especially strong today.
Now coming through, Ethanol and Blanks trying to play it down the field for Missouri. Icarus and Chalks in the corner. Icarus plays it out, but he plays it right into Chalks' hand. Oh, and that was the worst possible touch that Icarus could have taken right there. Plays it right to Chalks, who plays it across the middle for Blanks. And Salcedo was right there, but he was just a little bit too soon. That's the equalizer for Missouri.
I mean, Missouri, they show they can equalize as well, right? Florida State don't get to maintain their lead forever. Maybe they do, though. Ghost up off the rebound. No, can Salcedo finish it off is a question. On the ground, into the corner. No, Ghost turns around yet again. 50-50, dead even here. But at the end of the day, it's Ethanol getting the better. No, Icarus comes back in, tries for the flip, doesn't quite catch any of the ball, and FSU need to go back and recuperate their boost.
Oh, man, they're not done. They're still going in here. Icarus has enough boost for a couple shot attempts here, but Chalks, he's going to play it out, and we'll see. Are they going to get punished for this aggression? It's looking like it. Blake's playing it off the backboard. The shot coming in from Chalks. Oh, but he didn't put enough heat behind that one. Easily dealt with by Icarus. Now Ghost playing into the corner. They need to build out of their half now and come back up the field. 2 minutes left to go, and we are all tied up in this one. It's been an exciting affair between these two squads. The real question is who's going to be able to bring it home. Missouri, they're looking to finish out this series. FSU, they're just looking to stay alive to fight another day.
Oh, Icarus with the arrow shot.
Ethanol with the save, though, and now Florida State on the offensive. We'll see if they can make something happen. Chalks plays it out in the midfield. Ethanol crossing it over towards Blanks, and now Missouri coming the other way. Keep in mind, this is all tied up. Missouri's not in the lead. Both of these teams need a goal.
Back boost! perfectly placed by Icarus. And you know what? If there's ever a singular most important clutch player on this roster, Icarus, every single time when they need him, he shows up. Whether it be aggression, whether it be a 50-50 win, whether it be some ridiculous mechanical play, he always arrives in the nick of time.
Yes, indeed, and he shows up there, but Chalks, oh, there was almost a mistake there on the kickoff. Chalks had an opening, but he was just a little bit off target. By the skin of their teeth, Florida State escaping that time, and they're going to keep their lead for now. A minute left to go. They just need to play some more clean Rocket League. Can't make the mistakes. Can't let Missouri set up on them. I like that. A nice disrupting touch from Icarus, but they're still struggling to clear. There it is. Icarus clearing it back towards Missouri's goal. Chalks playing it into the midfield, but there's Salcedo to play it right back into the mix, and this is exactly where Florida State wants to be, but Missouri bringing it back the other way. Ooh, the rotation's just in time for Florida State, and it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Can Missouri finish it off, or can Florida State keep it going for Game 5, for Game 4, and hopefully, they hope, Game 5. I'm hoping too, because honestly, I don't want to see this action go away. This has been some incredible Rocket League between these two teams today.
It has, but across the center here, Florida State down a man. This is very dangerous. They already found the demo on the goalkeeper. Can they get the backboard defense? No, but Salcedo's not. Blanks with a shot off the post. Ghost now looking to play it out. Wins a 50-50. Sets up the pass, but Chalks is going to be there to receive. No, Ghost pinches it out to the center. And with 13 seconds left, Florida State desperately cling to their lead. Salcedo up, pinches out wide yet again. Ghost puts it in towards goal. Last attempt here for Mizzou. Ball up high. 3, 2, 1. The ball over. Blanks keeps it up, but spiked down immediately by Ghost. Florida State University take their first game against Mizzou.
And I can't imagine what it is like in the Florida State comms right now. You see them jumping up and down in jubilation. That win was hard fought and hard earned, and they're going to be looking towards Game 4 to keep this momentum going. My question to you, Dor, is how do they do just that? How do they keep this momentum going against this Missouri squad who has looked like world beaters at times?
I mean, they need to be very, very careful. They put in a ton of aggression to get those 3 goals, and they weren't punished. But Missouri is a team that is more than good enough to recognize that kind of opening, come in and punish it, right? So look for Missouri to play defensive, wait for counterattacks, boot that ball down the field, and follow it, because oftentimes Florida State does not have a defender lying in wait for it.
And we're getting ready to go for Game 3. Game 4. It's Game 4. This is such a fun series. I can't even keep track. Blanks on the kickoff. Now we'll see Salcedo playing it into the corner for Florida State. And it, again, Florida State with their backs against the wall. In Game 3, they responded. But this is what you sign up for when you go down 0-2. Their hopes and dreams riding on a reverse sweep. They're hoping to bring out those brooms and turn them on upside down. Chalks for Missouri playing it in the midfield. A nice challenge between Ghost and Ethanol there, and both teams now just playing it back and forth. Early on, we usually saw scoring in games 1, 2, 3, but right now it's pretty even, and I don't really see any opportunities opening up.
Yeah, Florida State University, they have to make holes in this Missouri line, but Ethanol is making some, and Florida State Chalks has an opportunity, but a good save. No, not had. Immediately dunked in by the same man that shot it prior. Ghost does his best, but the double touch here by Chalks and Blanks is going to make it more than capable of going in.
Yeah, and that was a heartbreaker because Florida State worked so hard to try and save those shots, but Mizzou was just relentless with their setups. The Tigers coming through, smelling their prey and hoping for blood, and they found it, striking first here. We're about a minute in, and a 1-goal lead for Missouri. Chalks playing it off the sidewall. There's a shot from Ethanol. Oh, a nice save, though, from this Florida State defense. They're just staying alive. Salcedo, though, he doesn't want to just stay alive. He wants to score some goals. He wants to even this game back up. Now Florida State on the offensive. Ethanol with a nice touch there. Ghost playing it over the goal.
Oh, what on earth, Mizzou? That might be the first mistake we have seen from them that was not directly forced by an FSU player. They look indomitable, but for a second, they look mortal.
All I can really say there, was a big mistake by Missouri that's going to tie this game up, and it might be one that comes back to haunt them if we can see Florida State get some more momentum going. That was a nice shot from Ghost, but really all the work done there by Chalks. An unfortunate way to see the goal go in, but Florida State, I'm sure they're not complaining, but they're just looking for goal number 2. Salcedo now and Icarus are all playing on this. Chalks wins that challenge though. Now Ghost coming into the corner. He's looking to center it up for his teammates, and he does, but it's not quite done well enough. Now Blake's with a huge shot all the way across the pitch. He puts it in.
Florida State, they get over aggressive here, send one person too far into the middle, and that's it. Icarus cannot recover in time. 2-1, Mizzou retake their lead, but plenty of time in this game, and honestly, it's going the same as we've seen literally every other game come before it, right? Starting out with this 2-1 scoreline, Mizzou always taking some sort of solid lead in the beginning. Even in the prior game where Florida State was winning, it was still just this close.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We talked about this. Missouri, they are such a good team. Florida State definitely can hang, but they have to play better. Right now, their focus is not there. They're making too many mistakes. For that second goal, they overextended, and for this one, overcommitting. Ghost's the only one back, and he can't defend that goal because they couldn't get the ball cleared. 3-1 lead now. The last time Missouri had a 2-goal lead, they won that game. That was back in game 2, and that's not looking good for Florida State.
No, sir. Florida State in a bit of a rut right now. Plenty of time to get those goals back, however. So you want to be a little bit careful if you're Mizzou, right? The same exact thing that applied to FSU now applies to you. Do not get over aggressive right now, especially in your back line. Chalks, you see playing very far back. Missouri know the lead they have. They know this is capable of winning the game, and they want to do just that with it.
Yeah, but again, they're fighting against the clock as well as against Missouri. Missouri by themselves already a formidable opponent. As the time ticks down, it makes it more and more difficult for them to mount a comeback. But in the world of Rocket League, 2 goals, you don't need a lot of time to score those 2. But it's going to have to start happening soon. Icarus trying to set something up, but Chalks is not having it. Already playing it back into Florida State's half. Oh, but look at this. Oh, that was perfect. If Ghost could have put that on net, that was a goal guaranteed. He's going to wish he has that one back. But Missouri, now they're on notice. They can't play so aggressive against this squad because Florida State will punish them. Ghost making up for his miss a couple seconds ago.